How are you today? Hope you are fine and safe all the time. Today in this lecture we are going to start in a new idea about the transmission of allelic gene. So in this lecture you will learn part 3 page 45. It's a transmission of alleles in case of codominance. So we have this example: red flower crossed with a white flower, it gives a pink flower. So this red phenotype and this white phenotype give a new phenotype, does not resemble one of the parent. Unlike one of the parent, it's pink, so it's a new in F1 generation. So the pink flower, it take the R allele from this red flower and take the R small allele or white allele from this white flower and give a new phenotype, which is pink. So pink, it's R capital, R small. R capital related to the red and R small related to the white, which is homozygous. So the white is homozygous, the red is homozygous, gives in F1 generation a pink flower. Transmission of allele in case of codominance. In some cases, both alleles are independently expressed. So in the previous lecture, we have said that alleles are dominant over one allele that is recessive. But here both alleles, the red and white, are expressed. Expressed means appears in phenotype. So red flower crossed with white flower gives 100% pink flower in F1 generation. There are another example, which is the ABO system. An example is that of the A and B allele, which determine the AB group of the ABO system. So if the individual have allele A and B, his blood group is AB. So both allele are expressed. أكيد one allele A got from a parent and other allele B got from another parent, which is, for example, the father. In other cases, dominance is incomplete and the phenotype of the heterozygous is intermediate between those of the parent. Okay, let's determine the genotype of the parent here. So إذا هيدي دايما بس يجي بالF1 generation one phenotype، ما في عنا كذا phenotype، يعني عنا 100% pink flower. ما عنا مثلا هون another phenotype، ما عنا red، ما عنا white، عنا بس لون واحد اللي هو pink flower. This means that the parents are pure, the parents are homozygous. يعني هيدا red the red flower عنده genotype RR والwhite flower عندها genotype WW. So they are pure, they are homozygous. ليش؟ كيف عرفت؟ لأنه gives in F1 generation one phenotype, 100% of one phenotype, which is pink flower. Okay? So the cross between a plant of a red flower and another with a white flower gives uniform offspring. So the offspring are uniform, are all the same. Gives uniform offspring, all have a pink color. This indicates that the result fit Mendel's first law, then the parents are pure. Mendel, he is a scientist that said in his first law that when the result in F1 generation is 100% of one phenotype, then the parent must be pure, must be homozygous. Okay? So now we are going to explain the appearance of the pink flower. How the pink flower here appears. هيدا red وهيدا white. طب كيف البينك flower إجا؟ This color is intermediate. يعني هو جاي بالنص بين الأحمر والأبيض. أوكي، يعني ماخد من الأحمر وماخد من الأبيض وعمل color جديد اسمه pink. So this color is intermediate between the colors phenotype of parent. This indicates that the two allele, red and white, are partially expressed. So allele R, red, is expressed and the allele white also is expressed. Both allele are dominants, both allele are expressed. So here ما في حدا مسيطر على التاني، اثنيناتهم قوية ومسيطرين على بعض و both are expressed. So this is the case of intermediate dominance. Intermediate dominance means when the parents are of different genotype and phenotype and they give uniform offspring, and this offspring is unlike one of the parent. يعني اللون البينك هون ما بيشبه حدا من البيرنت. هيدي الكيس شو اسمها؟ intermediate dominance. So بهيدي الحالة إذا both parents are expressed، هيدا الاليل responsible for red بنحطه بالكابيتال، والاليل responsible for white كمان بالكابيتال، لأنه اثنيناتهم expressed، اثنيناتهم قوية. So let R be the symbol of allele responsible for red flower, and let W be the symbol of allele responsible for white flower. Now the genotype of red RR and the genotype of white is WW. Now we're going to make a factorial analysis, okay, regarding this cross, okay. So first of all we have what are the phenotype of parent. We have red flower crossed with white flower. This is regarding phenotype. Genotype, red flower it's RR, white flower it's WW. Gamete and proportion, R red flower gives 100% a gamete that contains R allele, and the white flower gives 100% gametes that contain W allele. So this is the table of a cross. Here we have R and here we have W. The red flower 100% gives an R gamete, and the white flower 100% gives a W gamete. When they cross together, they give RW, which is the pink flower. So what is the phenotype and the genotype of the offspring? Phenotype 100% pink flower and 100% RW. Okay? Now with respect to the cross 2 in F2 generation, هيدا F2 generation عنا pink flower is crossed with a pink flower. So here we have a pink flower that is expressed with a pink flower. So pink flower crossed with a pink flower also. Here we have a pink flower. هيدول two flowers that are pink, they are in F1 generation. عملنا لهم crossing قاموا جابوا F2 generation. We have to know that here it's RW and this flower is also an RW. So RW and RW, pink and pink flower, give in F2 generation 25% red flower, 50% pink flower, 25% white flower. Okay, so the phenotype pink flower crossed with the pink flower. This is a pink flower and this is a pink flower. Genotype RW crossed with RW. Gamma and proportion, هيدي البينك flower give two allele، واحد R والتاني W. وهيدي كمان sorry, here we have R, it's not WW, it's RW, so gives an R and W. أكيد هون نص أو 50% بيعطي هالقد، وهيدا بيعطي 50% أو نص، وكمان هيدا بيعطي 50% أو نص، وهيدا بيعطي كمان نص. So RW 50% 50%، هيدا 50% with respect لهيدا أول parent وهيدا تاني parent. RR 25%، RW 25%، RW 25%، and WW 25%. So this is red, these are pink، هيدول، هيدا red، okay، and this is white, and the result are indicated. okay. so هيدا 25% white، هي 25% white، عنا 25% red، هي 25% red، وهون RW pink 25 25 50%. So the phenotype is 25 red, 50% pink, and 25 white, while the genotype 25 RR, 50% RW, 25% WW. Okay. So I have to know that in case of intermediate dominance قد ايه الفينوتايب اللي حيطلعوا معنا؟ 3 فينوتايب. هيدي طبعا إذا كانوا بالF2 generation 3 فينوتايب و3 جينوتايب. اوكي.